You know, in Housewives, everyone's like amping it up, you know, doing whatever, they're drinking, they're like, you know, they're like trying to get as many scenes as they can, they're facing the camera as much as possible, so that just the amp up factor is so high that everything is just like so out of control. Yeah. You know, waking up, you know, I guess waking up and being an active participant in life, that's like really like my motto and how I raise my kids. You know, not blaming people, just going for it and being accountable for every mistake. I make so many mistakes all the time, but you'll never hear me say like, oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I don't remember that. I remember everything, and I'm like, oh, that was so stupid. And I don't regret it, but I'm like, I learned from that. Okay, I've got it. I'll move on from that. But you can't regret, because if you regret, that means it's like negative. That on Housewives, I was crying. Mm-hmm. I was really crying. I was just like, what the sugar is going on here? Like, what are these people doing? And people were like, you cried on television. I was like, yeah, no, I didn't cry. I bawled. Yeah, that wasn't crying. Crying is like, drop. No, this was like full on, like, get me the sugar out of here. I want it plain now.
Right.
I was in the supermarket yesterday, and I was like, God, the food that people are selling, like, who would eat that? And I just think that anything that's diet, I mean, I do drink Diet Coke sometimes, but for the most part, like, don't eat food that's diet or like low fat, because it's like, low fat, how low fat is that? And where is that low fat, like in the percentage of high to low? Is that 50% fat? Like, really, those are very ambiguous words I don't like to use, and especially when it comes to food. I just like clean, simple, basic. And then also just like anything that's liquid. So anytime that you're just putting liquid in your diet, it's an absolute no-no for me, because we're human beings and we're supposed to be, that's part of the process of digesting food is chewing. So you need to eat food. I find it's ridiculous.
What about soup?
What about soup?
Yeah.
I mean, a vegetable soup diet, I would never go on that. Chewing is part of the process. Not liquid diet is not healthy.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not how your body was, it's not how your engine works. You need to chew in order to digest food. So I don't think that liquid diets are really good for you, because they're not. And I've been on them. I tried it, believe me. You know, the yo-yo dieting. I mean, you know, like eating the apple, you know, a day for a week, or just eating the white diet, which was like rice and cereal all day. You know, just, you know, doing those crazy diets, because I always had that song in my head that if I lost 10 pounds, I would be prettier, I would be a better model, people would like me more. I was, you know, that 10 pounds was like that song in my head that wouldn't stop playing. Who cares about it? No one's looking at your waist size at a dinner table. Right. And they're not like, oh my God, I can't go out with her, she needs to lose 10 pounds. I just feel that, you know, there's like a uniform for life, and, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I just, instead of wearing sweatpants or everything, even my own house, like if I'm not working that day or if I don't have to do something immediately, I just like throw on leggings and a t-shirt and a sweatshirt, and then I always put mascara on. It just shows other people that you have a sense of respect for yourself. It really isn't about like, it's not like dressing up, it's about self-respect. If you see someone on the street and they're in like sweatpants getting coffee, aren't you just like, what, are you serious? But sometimes it's you. I can be a better version of me. What am I, you know, I don't want someone thinking like that about me.
How do you?
I mean, I don't juggle at all. I mean, I'm like, you know, constantly, you know, running from, you know, from everything from like life to work. I mean, and I always joke, I'm like, dating me is like dating a 16-year-old, because I have a curfew. Like, and, you know, I have to wake up and look like me. I can't, you know, be hungover or like, no, mommy can't wake up with you because I'm not feeling like myself. I'd rather be great at raising my kids and great at raising my job than like staying out late and not being good at anything. I don't want, you know, on my tombstone, it's gonna be like, you know, she was a great mother and a great woman. It's not gonna say like, you know, she was a party animal till 2 o'clock in the morning. I've just always been like positive. And I have great parents. You know, I have amazing parents who really, really pushed me a lot. You know, even when I was just like, I can't do it all, I don't know what I'm gonna do, my parents were like, just go for it. You know, they really encouraged me. And, you know, that's the greatest gift you can give to a child, is that they're awesome and that they're gonna do well. So at any time that they you know, are like, think they're going to fall. They're like, wait, I can do this. Like, I can actually do this. And my mom was like, oh, honey, we were so worried about you on Housewives. And I was like, Mom, well, you know, it's television, and, you know, people, you know, they do people act in a certain way, and you respond honestly. And, you know, if on a television show where it's magnified, if that's going to be taken or misconstrued, that's okay, because it's television. And maybe the American public don't like the way that I dealt with that. Well, that's their issue.
Right.
Because for me, that's how I dealt with the issue when I was in that moment. I mean, when you're stuck, you know, filming with people and they're not being necessarily nice to you, and you finally are like a cat in a corner and you respond,
Right.
that's called a pop-up, things like that. And it's just like, they just go to town on it. They're like, we got it. And they did. That's what great ratings are all about. Those little moments. So that's my job. You know what I mean? That was part of it. So I'm not gonna, you know, and my mom was like, okay, honey. And she knows she knows that, like, I'm fine, and she talks to me all the time, she sees me all the time, so they know. They were, you know, everyone, you know, there were a lot of people that were like really, really worried, and that was really, you know, that was really concerning to me, that people were concerned. It's a big issue, and it's a great vehicle to talk about how to deal with other women, because women are catty. They just inherently are catty. You know, I'm really catty sometimes. Women like to gossip, and, you know, not all women want the best for all other women, and that's just human nature. To sit here and say that, like, every woman is together and they want to, like, have a kumbaya moment, it's just not true. So it was a great opportunity for me to tell my girls that, you know, Bensimons have rules, and that when we are in a situation, or when they're in a situation where it becomes out of control, they either have to, you know, tell a teacher, or they have to remove themselves from the situation, because we as Bensimons have a different code. So for my girls, you know, it's not easy. I'm their mom, you know, it's like I'm on them. And I want them to be great women. I want them to be great friends. I don't want them to be, you know, mean and the pot stirrer. I don't want that for my kids. Sorry, girls.
Did they watch the show?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, they're on their computer. So they definitely were watching it. And, you know, the cool thing about it, they saw it as television. So that was cool.